You know, I watched him last year, and he was a really good player. I watched every snap this year. He's one of the best I've ever seen do it. No one's ever done it in college. I'd say even pro football and high school football.
But what happens if the team that drafts him only wants him to play one side? Well, Hunter told CBS Sports, quote, "It's never playing football again."
Travis Hunter is a generational talent. He's been hailed as football's own Shohei Ohtani. He has the potential to do something we've never seen before, as he intends to play two ways in the NFL. But what if teams won't let him? What if the team that drafts him refuses to let him play both sides of the ball? Well, Hunter has already responded to that, and his answer will shock you. How will this translate to the NFL? How is Travis Hunter going to be used in the NFL, as some teams view him as a wide receiver and other teams view him as a cornerback? Before we get to the content, this video is sponsored. PrizePicks has an awesome promo for the NFL draft where you can win a share of $500,000 in free lineups if you make 3 picks correctly, and this lineup could be entered for free. For me personally, I have Ashton Jainty getting picked later than 6.5, which means he has to be picked 7th or later for me to hit. I have Mel Kiper saying upside more than 3.5 times because that man loves the word upside, and I have Travis Hunter getting picked way later than 2.5 because we already know who number 1 is going to be. It's going to be Cam Ward. I think number 2 is going to be Abdul Carter. If you want to make these picks for free, make sure you use my promo code Mikerophone to get a free $50 when you make an entry of $5 or more. And thank you, PrizePicks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Before we talk about what's going to happen in this year's upcoming NFL draft, we need to establish what makes Travis Hunter so special to begin with. Let me put it in basic terminology. Hunter was the hands down best player in the country and was debatably the best wide receiver and cornerback in one player. Of course, Hunter didn't win the Jim Thorpe Award for the best defensive back in the country, but according to Pro Football Focus, he was the #1 ranked cornerback in the nation. Combine this with the fact that Hunter won the Biletnikoff Award for the best receiver in the nation, and there's no question that Travis Hunter was the slam dunk Heisman Trophy winner. Here's some perspective for how good he was on the field. Hunter is the first player in FBS history to record 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception in one game. According to Sports Illustrated, across 343 coverage snaps, he has been targeted just 34 times, which is less than 10% of the time, making him one of only 2 FBS players with such a low target rate. In addition, in 11 games, he has been targeted 2 times or less in 6 contests, allowing only 20 receptions for 187 yards. Travis Hunter has surrendered the fewest first downs of any cornerback nationally, with just 6. Furthermore, he has allowed only 1 touchdown and 5 plays of 15 yards or more. His tackling efficiency is equally remarkable, as he has stopped the receiver on 19 of 20 catches that he has allowed. I bring this up because I believe Hunter did deserve the Thorpe Award despite not winning it. We're talking about a player who could go out and give you 100+ yards and 3 scores on offense, then go lock down the opposing team's #1 receiver on offense. For this reason, he still earned the Chuck Bednarik Award for the best defensive player in the nation. Quick side note, how does a cornerback not win the best cornerback award but then go on to win the best defensive player of the year award? It just doesn't make sense. The only plausible reason for this has to be the fact that voters just didn't want to give Travis Hunter every award possible, which at the same time does kind of make sense. Hunter's so good that he's even been called the Shohei Ohtani of football by Browns general manager Andrew Berry.
It's a little bit like Ohtani, right? Where when he's playing one side, he's an outstanding player. If he's a pitcher or he's a hitter, he's an outstanding player. You obviously get a unicorn if you use them both ways.
For all of these reasons, it made perfect sense as to why Hunter won the Heisman Trophy, despite Ashton Jainty himself having an all-time historic season. Hunter even managed to get his number retired at Colorado before ever being drafted. Travis Hunter has a chance to be the #1 overall pick in this year's upcoming draft, and is easily a lock to be a top 5 pick. However, something just happened that has a chance to change everything.
What happens if the team that drafts him only wants him to play one side? Well, Hunter told CBS Sports, quote, "It's never playing football again because I've been doing it my whole life and I love being on the football field. I feel like I could dominate on each side of the ball, so I really enjoy doing it.
That's right. According to CBS Sports, Travis Hunter is threatening to retire if the team that drafts him won't allow him to play both sides of the ball. This is insane, but it might not mean what you think. There's a chance that this statement could impact where Hunter is drafted. After all, if you're going to use a top 3 pick in the NFL draft, you probably want to have a good relationship with the player that you're selecting. And drafting Travis Hunter to make him play one side of the ball could potentially be ruining that. On paper, this seems like a bad thing, but in reality, there's a chance that Travis Hunter is doing this on purpose. If Travis Hunter doesn't want to go to a team he knows wants to use him exclusively on one side of the ball, a threat like this could deter them from even drafting him. This would allow him to go to a team that he wants to go. This would also perfectly align with what Deion Sanders has said in the past about his players. This also wouldn't be the first time in NFL history a player tries to dictate where they're trying to be drafted either. But there is one way NFL teams could make Hunter happy while also drafting him to primarily play one side of the ball.
It's not going to come to this anyway. All right, look, he's going to play both ways. He's not going to play both ways full time, but he's going to play both ways.
This is the most realistic outcome for Travis Hunter. As we previously established, Travis Hunter is a better cornerback than wide receiver. Hunter was graded as a top 5 wide receiver by Pro Football Focus, but was by far and away the #1 corner. If I was a general manager, I would play Hunter full-time at cornerback and use him sparingly at wide receiver, maybe 20 to 25 snaps a game at wideout. Then, if he excels there, we can talk about playing more snaps week after week. After all, it seems abundantly clear in the NFL that it's harder to find elite cornerbacks than it is to find elite wide receivers. Another thing I want to go over is the reasoning for this. In Hunter's first season at Colorado, he had to miss 3 games after taking a huge blow against Colorado State, which prevented him from putting up eye-popping numbers like he did in 2024. This season, Travis Hunter put up nearly 100 receptions, 1,258 receiving yards, and 15 touchdown receptions, which are phenomenal stats when healthy. The key words, though, are when healthy. The main cause for teams and scouts to not want to play Hunter on both sides of the football is so he doesn't get hurt. This isn't like Madden where you can just turn off injuries in franchise mode. If a player is routinely playing 100+ snaps a game at full effort, it's only a matter of time until they get hurt. And I don't say that in a bad way. I love Travis Hunter, but there's a reason nobody has ever attempted what he's going to try this upcoming NFL season. But it's time to see where Travis Hunter is going to end up. If Travis Hunter can stay healthy and play both sides of the football at a high level, then whoever ends up drafting Hunter could be getting a bona fide Hall of Famer. Now, we need to properly assess Travis Hunter's draft stock. The general consensus around Travis Hunter is that he's a generational player who will come in on day one and start at both cornerback and wide receiver. But Ryan Clark has a different perspective on things.
Now let's go further. Let's go to now. He's not Jamar Chase. He's not Justin Jefferson. He's not Patrick Surtain. He's not Derek Stingley. And so if you don't allow Travis Hunter to play both sides of the football, you actually waste a pick at least that early on Travis Hunter. Now,
I think this is an interesting take I see more and more when I'm reading about Travis Hunter. Basically, to break it down, the argument is that Hunter isn't a top 5 pick at either wide receiver or cornerback, and his stock is only this high because he can play both wide receiver and cornerback at a first-round level. While I understand this take, I honestly have no choice but to disagree. Do you recall those cornerback numbers I was reading off at the beginning of the video? This is a Patrick Surtain. This is a Derek Stingley Jr. Travis Hunter has a very good argument to be a cornerback 1 in this year's NFL draft, but I will admit that he is not a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2. If Hunter played wide receiver, he's probably a borderline first round pick, maybe a second rounder. But of course, as we all know, he isn't just a wide receiver. We're talking about a guy who can play elite cornerback immediately in year 1 and could develop into a solid wide receiver in a few years. Break down all the possibilities as to where Hunter could be drafted. First of all, there's no chance he goes to Tennessee. Tennessee is a franchise that has been completely gutted by mismanagement and poor front office work, and right now they need a can't-miss prospect to help rebuild around. And for those reasons, I think they prefer Abdul Carter, or they're going to end up selecting Cam Ward. Next up is the Cleveland Browns, who, if you remember, their general manager Andrew Berry had nothing but praise for Hunter and insinuated he'd be okay with him playing both sides of the ball. But it doesn't help that their quarterback situation is terrible, and ownership themselves have even admitted that it's time to move on. For these reasons, I think if the Titans let Cam Ward fall to number 2, I believe the Browns could potentially take him. Third is the New York Giants, who in my opinion seem like the perfect landing spot for Travis Hunter. First off, the market. New York City is the largest market in America, and if the first ever modern two-way player plays near New York City, it could do incredible things for the league. Second, even if Cam Ward slips to number 3, it seems like the Giants are focused on the 2026 NFL draft, possibly to get a player like Arch Manning instead. We know this because their quarterback room is already filled up with the likes of Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and of course, Tommy DeVito. Third and finally, as we've already established Travis Hunter as a better cornerback than wide receiver, this fits perfectly with the Giants because they have a huge need at cornerback, and they already have a wide receiver 1 in Malik Neighbors. This would allow Hunter to play full-time at corner, and offensively he would get easier matchups since Neighbors will have most of the attention on him. Plus, it's important to remember that Giants GM Joe Shane has also gone on record to say he would let Travis Hunter play both sides of the ball. Obviously, this isn't a lock, but fit-wise, I don't see any better place for Hunter to go than New York. Plus, who knows, if the rumors about Shedeur Sanders not having a first-round grade by scouts is true, maybe the Giants could reunite Hunter and Shedeur by drafting him early in the second round. Now, this is obviously a long shot, but who knows, crazier things have happened in the NFL draft. All we know for certain is that next season we're going to get something special. Travis Hunter will attempt to play both sides of the football full time, and whether it works out or not is yet to be seen. There's a chance that Travis Hunter changes how football is played forever, but there's also a chance we look back on his career as a big what if. Personally, I hope he succeeds. If a two-way player can succeed in the NFL, it would grow the game unimaginably. Plus, if Hunter can do it, then there's a large chance we see more and more two-way players in the NFL in the future. But honestly, who knows what will happen? Where do you think Travis Hunter is going to be drafted, and what do you think is the perfect fit for him? Are you watching this video post-draft? If so, let me know what you think about where Travis Hunter went. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.